Hello friends and my dear students, how are you guys? I will cover in this video on the last lesson in the Unit 2. So start the lesson without any useless vain. Unit 2, Lesson 2. Ecological Systems Theory Year BRONFENBRENNER. Let's begin. Prelude. Yuri Bronfenbrenner is famous within the discipline of developmental psychology for his ecological systems theory. There had been many prevailing theories inside the area of psychology to apprehend the human development earlier than Bronfenbrenner. These particularly consist of Sigmund Freud's psychoanalysis concept, behavioristic theory, Piaget and Vygotsky's cognitive principle. Bronfenbrenner's concept of ecological structures appears to be an explanatory answer to the lacking links in the existing frameworks which had been widespread earlier. This idea has shared the systemic and herbal perspective of the human improvement. Today this concept is one of the most appropriate theories inside the field of current developmental psychology. Biography. Yuri Bronfenbrenner is a celebrated name inside the area of developmental psychology. He was born in Moscow, Russia, in 1917. His circle of relatives migrated from Moscow to United States of America when he turned into most effective 6-year antique. He completed his commencement in tune and psychology. He received his Grasps degree in education from Harvard University. Bronfenbrenner completed his studies paintings in developmental psychology from Michigan University in 1942 and earned a doctorate diploma. After that he served as a psychiatrist in American Army for 2 years. He started working in Michigan University as an assistant professor in 1948. He became commemorated with James Kettle Award and Lifetime Achievement Award for his contribution in the area of developmental psychology. He died in New York in 2005. Some of the famous books authored by means of Bronfenbrenner from which we will understand his ecological systems principle in extra element are indexed on Ecology of Human Improvement, Worlds of Childhood, US and USSR. Making Human Beings Human, Biological Perspectives on Human Development, State of Americans, This Era and the Next. Start here is Ecological Systems Theory. Yuri Bronfenbrenner supplied the Ecological Systems Theory, 1979, in the discipline of human development. In this principle, he has defined how environmental factors impacts the human development. There are many systems present within the environment and those systems interact with each other and the interplay of these structures influences the development of an character. This is why Bronfenbrenner calls the improvement of an individual a result of interactions of those. Barker and Gibson recounted in common the importance of environmental factors within the human development before the idea of ecological systems and said that to understand any behavior, we must first understand that surroundings in which that precise conduct took form. The ecological systems theory helps us to understand how the procedure of transition in a man or woman works and how the person's environment impacts his boom and improvement. Context of the character is vital. Bronfenbrenner in his observations located that behavior of a man or woman takes shape because of his context. Development of a person does not take location in isolation or by means of parting far from surroundings because a person is a part of the society. As part of the society, a person makes direct relationships with different human beings together with from family, faculty, neighborhood. Apart from this, incidents which take vicinity in the society also affects the man or woman in a roundabout way. And character interacts with the society environment at once and not directly, and those interactions affect the development of the man or woman. 3 essential additives of ecological systems theory are human person, environment, context, interaction between human and environment. To understand the human development, we need to recognize the interplay that takes vicinity among a person and his environment. Bronfenbrenner gave a provided ecological structures principle to explain this. In this, he gave a model to understand the human improvement and categorized it into 5 systems. All these systems engage with one another and occasionally components which might be present in identical shape have interaction with every other. Following are the 5 structures of ecological systems theory: microsystem, mesosystem, exosystem, macrosystem, chronosystem. In the given picture, and I will explain the topic one by one. Microsystem. This device includes all institutions with which an individual makes direct touch. For example, family, neighborhood, faculty, and so forth. A character interacts with the people worried in the establishments of this machine, such as mother and father, instructors, pals, and so on. Here family is the primary micro-machine for a person, followed by means of his community, faculty, grandmother's domestic, etc. The environment of these on-the-spot microsystems have an effect on the increase and improvement of an person. The interaction among those microsystems and the man or woman is bidirectional. For instance, if the expectancies of the parents or the academics from the kid are wonderful, increased are the chances that the improvement of the kid will take location in proper direction. If the relationships in these microsystems are encouraging, the improvement of the child may be progressed. How a child behaves is decided in large part through the methods he is handled via. Mesosystem. This machine contains the interrelations of the micro-machine. In microsystems, college, domestic, neighborhood, and many others are all separate microstructures. When a lot of these microstructures have interaction with each different, then they represent the mesosystem. Meso device contextualize all of the reactions that take vicinity some of the microstructures. For instance, dating between family and faculty, courting among neighborhood and circle of relatives, and many others. A toddler establishes a definite sort of verbal exchange along with his circle of relatives in school. Thus, development of a form of verbal exchange is important right here for the better development of the kid, in order that a dialogue may be mounted between each of them, that can in the long run offer a wonderful course to the improvement of the kid. In meso gadget, a baby strengthens her. If the child is treated in the identical manner in two one-of-a-kind mesosystems, then there may be a chance that the child's conduct gets molded in comparable lines. If the child isn't always allowed to invite questions both in college and at home, notwithstanding his urge to, and is constantly asked to hold quiet, then the child in destiny will mirror this thing in his behavior that he have to now not query. Let us take any other example. If the connection of toddler's dad and mom is disturbing and this keeps for a long time, then the effect of this can also be visible inside the school existence of the child. Perhaps, the kid will now not be capable of make harmony in his relationship with instructors and peers. If dad and mom of the child participate inside the parents-teachers assembly and engage in healthy conversations with the child every now and then this may make a positive effect inside the development of the kid. Exosystem. Exo device consists of social environment which affects the character, however the character cannot revel in that without delay, which means this social surroundings influences the development of the person not directly. This consists of place of business of the mother and father, network services, industries, and many others. These are the institutions to which a baby is not linked with at once. This is like a third side which impacts the improvement of the kid in a roundabout way. For example, if the dad and mom of the child are hired in any authorities area and for a few motives they're suspended from their jobs or demoted to a lower function, then this will without a doubt weaken the financial situation of the own family. Due to this, the own family will have to reduce down on its charges. This scenario will have an effect on the kid in methods that the college of the child might be changed, his pocket cash can be decreased, not sending him to lessons classes, and so forth. Let us take one greater instance. We see that every time the consequences of board assessments are announced, then the names of the scholars who get high marks are highlighted in media. This makes other parents to expect the same from their youngsters to get high marks and cause them to proud. Here, the child is getting affected not directly due to the fact when the child isn't able to perform as according to expectations, then apart from being taunted by society, he himself experiences intellectual frustration. These things form the increase and development of the child and have an effect on him, her adverse. Macrosystem. This gadget presents a complete cultural reference. This consists of all the historical, cultural factors in which the development of an person takes location. This mainly includes guidelines of presidency, socio-cultural context, and social evaluation. For example, authorities has made positive rules and rules to hold regulation and order like prohibition of smoking and consuming liquor in public locations. If someone nonetheless violates any law, then that man or woman might be punished. Let us see another instance: a baby, his parents' working place, infant's college, and many others are part of a vast cultural gadget. This machine has advanced over a very long period of time. It has its personal beliefs, values, and customs. With those beliefs, values, and customs, destiny technology develops, and their development is in concord with those ideals, values, and customs. Like we see that gambling in India isn't socially appropriate, and those who are indulged in gambling are not considered as desirable from the perspective of the society. We can take a unique example for this as how are gender roles organized in any society? Is the division of home chores based on gender? If that is the case, then the way it orients the development of the kid? Chrono system. Bronfenbrenner introduced the chrono machine after a completely long time in his ecological systems idea. In this he stated that after any incident the course of the kid takes a different path, and the trade and continuation in the environment of the child is going on with time. A death in a child's home, some historical incidents, etc. impacts the improvement of the child like demise of both mom or dad. From here, the attitude of the kid adjustments. If there is a divorce of the kid's mother and father, then this can have an effect on the each factor of the kid's lifestyle. Critical view. The ecological systems concept helps us in know how the connection between the individual and the surroundings and the way the environment shapes the person's persona and development. No idea is entire in itself. Critiques have highlighted the shortcomings of this concept as nicely. There is one facet of the critiques who consider that this principle ignores the innate abilities of the person and focuses most effective at the environment. Here we have to take into account the fact that the talk among the character and nurture has been occurring since the time of Plato and Aristotle. For instance, the adjustments that take vicinity throughout the formative years of the kid affects his increase and development. Critiques say that implementation of ecological structures theory is hard because all of the factors of the surroundings are affected by every other and every element is important. First, it's mild stuff to find out the exact environmental aspect, and second, there is no balance in it. We cannot arrange all of the pieces of facts in sequence, and consequently it's far hard to discover which element purpose what. Educational importance of the ecological systems theory. The environment of child performs an vital role in his/her improvement. Various thinkers have attempted to provide an explanation for the effect of environment on the child's development through their theories. Vygotsky, Bandura, Dewey are the distinguished ones. In Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems concept, environment is important. From instructional attitude additionally, this concept is important. Socialization performs an critical function inside the toddler's development. If we take a look at the retailers of socialization, then we find that own family, neighborhood, spouse and children, school, peers, and many others play an important position in it. All these are the part of micro and meso device of the ecological systems idea and have an effect on the development of the kid via interacting with each other. It is vital to have a healthy surroundings at the child's home because the demanding surroundings at domestic impacts the college lifestyles of the kid. The infant then is unable to participate successfully inside the activities of the school. To make it higher, we have to make healthy touch among college and family. Apart from the college, a toddler develops his information from other institutions as properly, and this expertise affects his development. Bronfenbrenner talks approximately this inside the meso machine. So, classrooms should give area to percentage this understanding of the kid, and there should be a discussion on it in order that our infant can differentiate between right and incorrect with reason. A teacher ought to apprehend the heritage of the child because the socio-monetary history of the child impacts his/her development. Parents ought to also take part in the activities of the faculty, and they need to communicate to the kid approximately his faculty lifestyles. This is important in shaping the persona of the child. The ecological structures theory propounded by means of Bronfenbrenner helps us in understanding how the improvement of the kid takes vicinity and what are the factors that have an effect on this development in complete. Conclusion. Bronfenbrenner in his ecological structures principle made and try to explain how the environment of the kid affects his growth and improvement. He divided the environmental factors into 5 systems, and these 5 structures have interaction with one another, and every now and then the additives present inside the equal gadget have interaction with each other. Therefore, to present proper root and shape the development of the child, we need to cautiously examine baby's surroundings. We cannot separate nature and nurture, as both of them together shape the character of the kid. A baby is part of a sizable and dynamic social gadget, and incidents that show up in this social device shape the improvement of the kid.